Hey, good afternoon, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the train, I'm over here running around, grabbing lunch at the same time. And oh my God, Ali just went and said something very ridiculous. So, you already know prop firms are always going to war. Let me bring up my chart. Let's get this. Let's get this. Right? You already know prop firms are always going in beef, right? They're always relatively arguing and everywhere, trying to keep people. No, I want to give a heat map, a better heat map. Let's do that. Let's go with the stock heat map, not ETFs. And what is very interesting, as I was stuffing my face trying to understand what's going on, these funded accounts are, or these prop firms, they're always like trying to one up each other. So recently, let me go ahead and grab my Discord because this thing went completely crazy. They just released something that is super time sensitive, right? And it's basically this. Crazy. Just crazy. Attention, ETF family. If you earn $1,000 in realized profit anytime before 1 p.m., you will pass. So all you have to do is just gain $1,000 before now and 1 p.m. Now, again, they only pass accounts after the session. So don't go, messaging them and all that stuff like, oh, what's going on? How come I still didn't get it? Listen, you're going to have to be patient with it and make sure that you do it. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm going to challenge myself. And they call it the beast challenge. So if I'm the beast that I claim to be at futures. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a nice little 100K account. Neat. The link is down below. You could grab one because they've had all right. So this expires in 2 days, right? So they have this special to kind of bring into perspective. 65% off of Fast Track. What Fast Track is something very, very simple. Oh, actually, you know what? I did forget to send out a message to everybody. Hold on. Let me let everybody know that I am online. Go ahead and grab my YouTube link. There it is. My channel. My studio. That's what it is. My studio. When I say I'm like falling out my seat, like, did they really just say what I think they said? Let me put that out there. All right. Let me let Tika know. All right. Come in. You won't believe what Elite is doing. I'm gonna send that out to everybody. Post, notify. All right, that's that. And then, see, and then, so back to this, right? I just sent that out. Oh, and then one more spot. You won't believe what he's doing. So let me send that out. Boom. Right. So I think because it's non-farm payroll and these type of events literally pretty much takes everybody's accounts and knocks them out. Right? So they're giving 65% off before February 9th. A fast track account, you can have an account for $26. You pass this, You pay 80 bucks, you have yourself a funded account, and you can start earning money with other people's money. That's what this generates. You have 14 days to pass this. That's why it's called a fast track. They're doing only specials on those. That's it. Nothing else. But what they're doing, being as insane as possible for them to turn around and basically, if you're a smart trader, you'll be fine. But if you're a gambler, this is not for you. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. If you earn $1,000 in realized profits before 1 p.m. today, they will automatically mark you as passed. Now, if we go back to here, it says you can't lose 3,000 before making 6,000. That's what it is. It's a trailing drawdown. It will follow you until you make that 6,000 and stop following you. That's how it works. Okay. So if you're able to swing $1,000 in realized profit, guess what? You're good to go. They're going to give you a funded account and you can start earning money. Now, here's the funny thing about it, right? As I go ahead, let me get myself out of the screen because I'm going to go ahead and grab myself one. I was in the middle of a trade, and I will not confirm or condone my actions, but I was not in the best time for trading as I was running around doing errands, right? Not in my normal setup, which is my computer and everything else. As we watch this heat map, it's blood red. Everything. There's a couple of greens like Palantir, Pan W. Oh, Pan W's up. Oh yeah, this thing is really recovering. You got Booking. Down there is Uber, which again, I don't understand how their transportation, they're a tech company, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But yeah, there's just pockets of some green. So what I think they're getting from these evals right now, they're looking to generate some type of liquidity and see if you can handle the pressure of this volatility, right? So if you can handle the pressure of this volatility, then you should be able to handle normal climates. That's what I think they're aiming for. And since it's non-farm payroll, it's very attractive, and people probably blew their accounts trying to chase these crazy candles, which I am going to get to the candles. I just want to point out a couple things before that. We're technically red. I don't think we're going to stay this red. I think we're going to get a little bit lighter for the most part because we're bouncing off of a key level, and we did penetrate another key level. So I think we're just kind of like in a range, but it's super wide because of this volatility. All right, let me go ahead and get this account. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to challenge myself, right? What's the worst that could happen? I just need to generate $1,000, right? At least that's what they say in the rules. And if I do so, they will automatically pass me. That's just nice, simple, easy rules, right? So let's go ahead and get that. Let me go ahead and process it. Bang, bang, bang. All right. All right, we are officially good to go right there. So without messing around and putting my credentials on the screen, don't want those pressures. Let me go ahead and log into my account. I'm already logged in somewhere. Hold on. All right, let me log out of that. Bye. And let's go ahead and log in. Grab password. All right, so now I am in. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. Let's get this party started. All right, so the first thing I want to kind of point out, like I said, it's red right now, and it looks very bloodshot red. It does not mean that we're going to stay red, okay? So let's come back out. We got things like, well, let's see. We got Microsoft that's getting its butt whooped a little bit. We got, don't get me started on Tesla. And now Tesla was a very interesting monster here. So I had an idea that this could have fallen, but we were in an order block. So my first inclination was a nice little push up, but that didn't really work out. And you could kind of see we got a nice little fib. I think they're going to come back to the 618. That's probably what they're aiming for. Another one, HCA. HCA was riding this trend, and then it just stalled out. They just ran out of steam. You can kind of see with this oscillator, they just could not finally break through. They are bullish on the daily, especially over here on this weekly. This looked like it could be a strong move to the upside, but that top wick is not a friend, not at all. What else? Actually, let me do the reddest of reds. DR Horton. DR Horton's getting beat up a little bit. It had solid earnings. This is a good company for the most part. They make cheap homes, but you can kind of see this thing looks like a little bit of a head and shoulder. We'll see what happens there. And I'm just going to keep on kind of running. And then we got Apple. Apple could not get out of its own way. We do open and range breakouts on our trading floor. I'll do a little quick recap on that as well. But the goal is we're going to go ahead and try to find something fun to trade. ELF. They had earnings, and then their earnings wasn't super great, but it's solid. But then he got a nice little drop here, $16. What a flush. All right, and then let's see something on a firm. I had this thing charted out for a possibility, and I did not pull the trigger. All right, we're gonna have to look at a firm at another time. All right, so now let's go get this account funded. Let's go ahead and we're going to look at NQ. Let's get a little bit of a ideology of what this is going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do something along the lines of some of my day trading techniques. If you don't know, I am primarily a scalper. I like scalps. I've been a fan of them from God knows how long. Just the thrill, which is, again, you want to kind of like temper yourself. Actually, let's do some mindset before I get into this, just to kind of refresh my mindset and not turn around and give y'all some bad advice along the way, because you're probably not seasoned enough, and I don't want to turn around and, you know, turn some rookies into some degenerates. Not at all. Not even a little bit. All right. So there we go. This is what we're going to go ahead and roll with. So the first thing I want to kind of bring up is the fact that, where are you? There's my camera. Right here. There is a certain piece that you got to have when it comes down to trading. I call it a chemical equation because the mind kind of works very chemically as far as handling trades and being able to control your emotions. My angle is slightly off. These kids has messed with my camera a couple of times. Let's see if I can get this right. All right, that looks good. All right. So there is an emotional factor when it comes down to trading, and here's some of the flaws. One, when you're becoming a trader, you gotta really control your emotions. It's only you in the market, me, myself, and I. You can't really care about what happens in the market, so this is don't give. And then right here is a fudge. So that is the chemical equation right there. But the market is very, very, very volatile. So there is market opportunity and there's structural patrol environment. These two things right here is what gives you the opportunity for you to take the trades, right? So if you're taking the trades based on market opportunity and structural endpoint, you need an equation that allows you to survive that and become a sound profitable trader. So that equation you're going to take is going to have to be raised to the second power. So that means you got two of yourself, me, myself, and I squared, and you got don't give, two fudges. You can't care about what the market does to you, right? So that equation gets simplified down to I, me, myself, and I, the strongest parts of me, the ones that's not emotional. It's only me I have to respond to. Don't to the second, give to the second, a fudge to the second. So that is the whole entire equation, because the market will have showers, and if you don't have that protection, you're going to be completely upset with the market and be like, I am done trading. So let's go ahead and get to the show, the real show, which is actually getting some trades in. All right, so here is NQ right now. So we could kind of see, I love the 45-minute chart. I just do. So the first thing that I see, actually, we're going to get rid of all our drawings. Let's get rid of all the drawings. Start all the way over. Get rid of the watch list. Okay. All right. So I love, we got a market dominance right here. We could probably play a bounce here. Actually, we might, you know, let's see if we can scalp a quick bounce. All right. That looks solid. Let's get the 5-minute. Oh, yeah. They're trying to build a little bit of a trend right here with these 2 points. Right here and right here. Let's see if we can get a light accumulation here. How I like to trade, I am extremely structural, right? So if we're going to take a trade, then I want to see this trade, if we were going to reverse, start to reverse somewhere around here. Let's come down to the 15-minute real quick. All right, this thing is showing lots of wicks here, so I'm assuming I got some supporters over here on an order block. I'm coming down to the 1 minute. All right, so we're getting that basketball bounce, but they just can't break it through. So let's go ahead. I would love to go ahead and take a trade to the upside over here, and then I would love for it to fill this gap. So I would love to get a trade over here. And let's go ahead and maybe that, yeah, possibly maybe that. I would love, if it did break through with some momentum, to get a full position somewhere right here, because I like to have 8 contracts with this account, these 100Ks, because the 100Ks are really fast moving. All right, we going through one fair value gap. Wait for this candle to close. See if we can get some solid pace here, because we kind of put in a bullish divergence here. We got the real one, but maybe that's all they have, and this is going to be a resistance area. So I'm going to go light coming in. Let's see what happens. If this thing can close above this wick here, I think I might just take it, downsize this leverage. All right, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Let's see what happens here. All right, my goal is to not to lose too much. Actually, I'm going to convert this into cash, because y'all probably don't understand what the hell a tick is anyways. So let's go ahead and turn this into money and money. All right, so I got 160 bucks here. And if this actually fills this imbalance here, there's a possibility we could get ourselves a nice little move to this upside. Mentally, my stop is down here. But for you new traders, oh, we got the liquidation. That is my market dominance. All right, I'm gonna take 100. We're gonna take 100 bucks. So that is my market dominance. I'm gonna look to see if we can get another retracement there, and see. Show me 200. I should have took the 100. That's what happens when you talk too much. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and I locked in 40 bucks. At least it'll cover some fees. Oh Lord, did I really do that? I switch screens. I am in paper. I do not want my paper. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Let me bring this screen up. No, not with my account. Right. There we go. And what chart was I on? Oh, 1 minute. Okay. Let's bring this up. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Okay, so I am looking for that, and that. Those are the areas I'm looking for. The market to relatively push up, either via liquidity or whatever the case may be. Because my market dominance had been triggered, I'm not going to scalp this short anymore. But I would love a nice little cool down. If not, they'll just pick up my second order here. And I'll find another one somewhere else. We'll see what happens. Let's come up to the 5 minute and see what's going on there. Bring this up. All right. Looking like they're trying to give it a solid push. Now, I don't like candles like this, but because it's non-farm payroll, I'm willing to take the chance, because what my theory is that we're accumulating all around here, kind of. And if you've ever did one of my class, I've done channels like this where I'm like, all right, we're doing a channel. There it goes. It picked up that order. All right, can I pick up the next order? I am short one contract, so I'm going to consider getting something over here. Let's do a oh, don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Oh, jeez. All right, so let's go ahead and just cut that. All right, so I just lost about 700. That was going to be it. And that's why I think they did this. They wanted all that volatility. We're going to see if we can recapture this again, but this time I'm going to probably slide with 4. Come on. Don't do that to me. That was a nice move. All they had to do is close that 5 minutes strong. That's all they had to do. But I do think that we're building something like this of a channel think I got the angle slightly off, like this, and probably like that, right? And I think the market is building channels that are like this, right? And that's your accumulation phases that's happening here. That's what I think is happening. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that, right? Nice little push up, but you're a jerk. You didn't even get the rest of that value gap there. I don't like that you try to grab liquidity from me. Alright. I still follow the same thesis. I think we're going to get in here. I think we're going to get in here, but I don't have that halfway mark no more. So let me go ahead and adjust this as 2. And then somewhere above here, it's probably going to be the 4, like that. And I'm looking for this to kind of like cool down a bit. Yeah, cool. Still kind of bearish here, kind of bearish there, especially with that massive drop. That was a perfectly executed trade. They just didn't pick up my second order, and I was going to get my 4th contract if it held. But if this thing's starting to come, yeah, you see now they're coming back inside of here. That's not what I want to see. I want to see that this is actually the breakout. So they might be trying to do that same phase again, accumulate here, and then try to push up again. We got until 1 o'clock to get this thing funded. That's the goal, right? Let me pull this from the screen to kind of see what that number is that they pulled back on me on. Yeah, 772 is what I'm short now. But again, I have up to 3K to be able to do this. So it is going to be one of those very pointed and direct sets of trades. Yeah, I don't like it no more. Because it looked like they're going. Because I was looking for all of this, which is what I got, right? This was a good solid trade. It's just that it didn't hold and it came into my stop loss. Don't like that. That's the only flaw of this trade. But again, we are doing a little bit of a counter. They did attempt to get it back to the 50 and the 200. They haven't tested it, so I was looking for that test on a counter trend trade for the 5-minute. But generally down here, 1 minute and below, we are kind of trending up. Lower highs and higher highs. This was the first time making a higher high, so I think they're going to come back down to accumulate one more time. So let's see if we can get across here, because I gave up that thesis. Actually, you know what? Let me put this one back for right now. Let me put, I think I kind of like this pivot here. And now we are bearish. Again, this is a counter. This is extremely a counter trend. I'm just going to repeat that over and over. I want to put one right here, but I don't think it's ready yet. And MACD tried to cross. You see? Boom. Not a fan. Not a fan no more. Not a fan. Because I want to see this try to catch that and continue up. Patience, folks. That's 90% of this here is just patience. I do find it amazing as we kind of going through this. I do find it amazing that Elite is willing to do something like that because I think traders have a destructive nature, right? And the destructive nature is the lack of risk management. And if you can find a way, and if you're struggling as a trader to just look at your risk, look what's going on. Today might not be your day. Maybe, you get a red today and, your setup that you always do, it's failing. You do a second trade. By the third trade, maybe you should go ahead and relax. Like, take a walk, reset yourself, whatever the case may be, but just pull it back. Like right now, I'm looking for the same relative breakout. I've given it one shot. The first shot was a small profit. The second one, they pulled it back before the close, which was a little aggressive, but it is what it is. Rebalancing this candle right here and taking out the sell side liquidity. But where are the buyers at? Are the buyers really sitting in this channel and they're just buying it back up each and every time? Are they there? And that's what you got to ask yourself. And if this does that, then I'll take the trade. But if it doesn't, then I'll sit out. And I think that's the problem that a lot of traders have. So even though Elite is giving this insane beast mode, get yourself account funded with $1,000 by 1 p.m. and it's going to give you those, Neo likes to call it crackhead mentality, or getting your fix. I want y'all to be completely sound with your decisions. Again, you may be a little bit more aggressive than your trades normally are, but it's going to create bad habits. It's a challenge. That means you're going to do something out of your norm. That doesn't mean that you're going to, okay, let me just say it like this. It's a challenge, right? I'm not going to go ahead and do some type of decathlon and try to keep up with David Goggins. It's just not going to happen. That's just being silly. But if I really want to take on the challenge of completing the decathlon, then I got to push myself on the completion of the decathlon, not push myself to race to keep up with David Goggins. So, I've already completed one of this challenge. I'm about to attempt a second one to see how I can handle that challenge. Only if the opportunity presents itself. If it doesn't present itself, again, I still have 14 days to just get the regular rules. It's 6,000. That's the rest of the decathlon. But if I can find a way where I turn into the Usain Bolt and beat David Goggins in a decathlon, then great. If not, cool. I'll just turn it into a marathon. All right, so that's what I want y'all to keep that in mind. Yeah, they're going back inside of that channel. I don't want to see it even attempted without being sure that the structure is going to hold, so I'm going to get rid of those orders. I want to see, can they get back inside of this channel and do the same thing that they've been doing? Again, this is inside of a bearish state, and this thing can fall right through because the stochastic is tired. Let's come back up to a higher time frame. I like the 45 minutes. I really do. I promise you I do. But this bad boy, it looks like it's going through. Maybe they came in for liquidity. Nice pop, sold. Nice pop, sold. So will this 45 minute take out these lows? Maybe we'll get something of a breakdown here and continue to the downside based on the 45 minute. We'll see. We will see. All right. It is 11:30. So we got an hour and a half to make $1,000. 1 hour and a half. Can we do it? So I ordered a steak sandwich, and they're normally really, really good at making a steak sandwich. But for some reason, today's steak is really tough. I feel like I'm chewing a towel. No, this is bad. I'm a little disappointed. Okay, they're coming back into it. Nice hammer. Could we get a continuation to the downside? I think we could probably play the break of this downside. Looking for the 45 minute to give continuation. The only scary part is the 15 minute, but it's going through the 0 line, and the 5 minute probably came in for a reset. Let's see if we can break this 800 EMA, and if we break and close below here, then maybe we'll go ahead and find something in there. Look at where it bounced. Right there. Bang! Let's see how well this bounce holds. They're trying to recapture. This is the area of concern because they've tried to hold these areas before and couldn't. Could this be a retest just to dump it right back down? Very strong possibility. And that's the other part about trading. Trading is how probable is this going to be? And you just take high probability trades and it should give you the results based on standard deviations and bell curves and everything else. If you're a statistics major, you'll probably understand what I just said, but just play the math, play the probabilities. We got this. So this 5 minute started off as a very push to the upside, but they did not take out anything here because we still got a little bit of an imbalance, aka fair value gap. Let me go ahead and mark it off like this, and that looks like a bearish fair value gap that is forming. It's not complete yet, but it is forming. So this could be a rejection of that area. We want other people's money to do the work, not ours. So we're gonna wait until it establishes itself. Do not get reckless on me, people. Do not get reckless. I'm just pointing out things. Oh, actually, that said, since I'm pointing out things and explaining, one of the biggest things as a trader that I think is a big problem, and I must did explanation on it. I must, yep, I did. There it is. One of the biggest challenge as a trader, and I'm going to use the small cam, let's do that. The biggest challenge as a trader is the fact that they battle with probability, but there is a structure and a scale of probability, profitability that needs to be done. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. For every winner, there has to be a loser and vice versa. And that's why I don't really care for the way people think in 2025. It's almost like everybody has to win, and it's not fair, and they'll adjust the rules to make the other person feel good. No. If you lost, you're a loser, and it's time for you to go ahead and find ways to win. Just stop. Just completely stop. The market doesn't operate that way. It's not fair that the market would have hit my stop loss. Anyway, so like the scales of justice, I came up with a trading scales of profitability, right? So the profitability is built on one thing. The ratio of charting to trading, both are actions needed to become a profitable trader, has to follow a ratio based in time of 2-to-1. And I break that down a little bit. So JD's law of profitability is this, and there goes our rejection. Let's see, let me readjust this fair value gap just in case it doesn't actually pan out again, because we got a minute left on that one. So JD's law of profitability is rule 1. For every minute of trading, there should be at the minimum 2 minutes equivalent of charting. Now, which I don't see my 45-minute chart. I've already charted it since last night on a different chart, so I already have a little bit of an ideology based on what I already had. But I'm just getting a nice little refresher, adjusting my lines, wherever the case may be. So I've already done that part. So at least 2 minutes equivalent of charting. So for every minute, 2-to-1, but it's a minimum. The more you focus on the chart, the more it feels like you're in sync and in tune of the possibilities, what levels they bounce off of, what rejection points. The also law of it is that charting, right? Because I don't think people understand what charting is. Charting is equal to, but not limited to, trend lines, fib retracement, order blocks, channels, accountability suggestions. Yes, people that are in your accountability group, they can give you the suggestions, but you have to actually put it on the chart of what they're suggesting, or you don't visualize what they're telling you in the first place, and you're basically running around blind. Do not take the trade because it says they broke a support. How you know it's support? Did you do your own test? Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Community floors, same thing. Charting classes. Charting classes are just there to teach you on how to look for things, not telling you how they're going to go. And then the 3 W's. You still have to chart where you're going to enter, why you're looking in the first place, and when are you getting out of exposure to the market. All right, so this trading scales of profitability requires that it's very heavy on one side when you're trading. That thing is 1, but to balance it off, you have to have 2 times what chart you're looking at on, or the time frame you're expecting to be in a trade on the other side. You gotta balance it off. And if you're not doing that, oh, all right, if we break this low, I might be looking for some lows here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves set up. Let me go ahead and get rid of this chart on the screen. All right, so I am looking for probably a full position down here when we break this structure, because it's starting to look like a bear flag breakout. And I probably would get something down here as well. And let's get that on point. Let's get that on point. And I'm probably going to look for something outside of this channel. Probably need a little bit of a reset. If we can get a nice little reset back up, it probably can like reset my oscillators a little bit. And that's if this structure starts to break down. So if this happens, then I'll do that. If that happens, then I'll do this. So a nice little reset. We are on the bearish side. We already know we're on the bearish side, generally speaking. So I am looking for maybe something like that down here. Actually, you know what? I haven't used this in a while. Let me do that. Looking for something here. Right there. With a stop loss somewhere around right here. Really, you know what? I should probably did the center pivot as my first entry. But again, this oscillator is not all the way reset either. So maybe it could channel and burrow its way down. Come on, give me $1,000 opportunity. Come on, market. I want this to be up here somewhere. Somewhere up here before I actually take this trade. And this is how you get caught trying to force something that's not there. I guess while we wait, it gets more fun with my mindset stuff. Ooh, come on. No, not the most ideal place. Yes, I could get picked up here, but I will not be surprised when we get to this deviation here. It's going to bounce again, because I do feel like when it comes down to support, there is some elasticity to it, and all we did is just kind of like change the trajectory. Linear regression does a lot of this stuff. I just hate the chart because I just try to. I'm an indicator because I hate having too much stuff on my screen. Long way coming, because I used to keep a lot of stuff on my screen, but this thing looks like it's re-angling where the channel is no longer going in this direction, but it's slightly lower, where this is our support, and this is going to attempt to try to see if they can take out those highs. Let's see if that happens. Patience, people, patience. All right, there's nothing happening here, so let's go back up to the 5 minute. We got 27 seconds here, and what this is telling me on this 5 minute is that now we're kind of like respecting here, and the buyers from here are probably the buyers from here, and they can't wait for it to get back up into these areas because they got teased with this peak, and then they came back and came down here, and they're looking to get this back up again and see if this will turn the tide on the 5 minute. Okay. See how we pull this way up too fast? They're taking out a lot of this sell side liquidity. When they're doing that, that can really mess around. And that's why I don't like these type of candles. The only reason I'm respecting it or even attempting to take a trade is because of non-farm payroll. The moment it's giving me an impact, I'm going to take the trade because I'm assuming that the volume is still in. See that? Yeah, I think the buyers are trying. They're going to try to see if they can recapture this wick over here. Let's come up to a higher time frame, because even that is giving us. So we got a nice little hammer candle, and what should have been like a strong continuation to the downside, because this is a strong pin bar, especially at this downside register. But I think it's because the stochastic is so in that lower register too that they came right back up here. This 5-minute fair value gap they got rid of, and the only thing that's really holding this down is probably this fair value gap here. I think these sellers are still in the market and they can't wait to sell this down even further. I think that's what they're doing. Let's come up to a 45-minute. 45-minute kind of confirms what I'm looking at. Let's go ahead and mark it over here. So 45-minute fair value gap is from here and here. So they probably grab some last minute liquidity based on that 15-minute pin bar. We're about 50% in the move. And generally speaking, from when we peaked out in the highs over here at the open and we kind of double topped, nice trend going down like this. If I go to a 5-minute, that trend follows through from that peak to that peak, and that's the one that we keep on hitting pressure on. The buyers are doing everything in their power to get through here, creating a nice bumpy run to go ahead and rally right back up to the upside, but the market's like, no mas. See how it goes. So this morning, about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I kind of did my warm-up trades, kind of get ready for the morning. So I kind of follow this philosophy, right? I start here. Let me warm up with a paper trade. The goal behind that is to kind of get my brain a little bit more malleable, understand what the possibilities are and everything else. Then after I'm done with that, I go ahead and look for, damn, wow, I should have took this in my real account, which happened around 4 o'clock, I believe, whatever the case may be. And then after that, I did let me take it in my real account. The funny thing about it, it did not go well. It really did. But I knew I followed my structure and strategy with this one, and these were sound trades. Yeah, I could do all that shoulda, coulda, wished, and all that stuff. Oh, if I didn't waste my time with the warmer trading, that's not the purpose here. That's not the purpose. It just didn't turn out. I followed my discipline. I followed my rules. It was an 80 to 85% probability that was going to be a successful trade. I got hit with the 15%. That's okay. Because what happened later on, I didn't do a paper trade. I knew what I was looking for. When the market opened in the morning, my second trade, it literally cost me another $500. So I was down $800. I know y'all was looking for a happy story, right? No. I started down $800. But I told my wife, I was like, listen, at the end of the day, if the market opens like this, then that means they're probably consolidating. It's going to have a better open versus me being in before the open, right? Yeah, sometimes I do before the open. Sometimes I wait for the open. So I waited for the open. When the open happened, followed the same thing that I would do in my paper trade inside of let me take it in my real account. I scaled in properly. I scaled out properly. And it went from a negative 800 to a positive 1100. So it was a $2,000 move, just that alone. Actually, make it make sense, right? That's what we should do, especially when we're still waiting for some type of setup. We're still in consolidation. I do apologize, but again, the market is going to give you what it has. You cannot force the market. You cannot force the market to do anything that it don't want to do. So we just gotta wait for the consolidation to break, and then we make our money. That's what's gonna happen. I'm looking forward to that happening before 1 o'clock, so that way I can get this next one funded. But if it doesn't happen, it is what it is. That's how you got to look at it. All right, so let me grab that account. Let me see if I do it as a PDF editor. Does it show? Okay, I want to make sure I protect my account. Yeah, I think I should be fine if I do it as a PDF. Yeah, download as a PDF. Yep, no account information here. Alrighty, here we go. Let's go ahead and grab this. So this is what it looked like. Let's switch camera. 50-50. My win weight. I sound like Elmer Fudd. Win rate is 50%, right? But when my win wins, it wins big. That's what this is basically saying. So let's start. I had a total of 6 losing trades. Get out of my way. I hate Bing. 6 losing trades, 6 losing contracts. 6 winning trades, 7 winning contracts. Total contracts traded, blah, 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 all that, right? But you could see, max rundown, I was down like $900. Then I was able to push it right back up. Right up about $2,000. Let's do a little bit of a recap. So that trade, that's what I get as I was paying attention to one thing to another. That's funny. Can we hold out of this channel? My stop loss is going to be right around this structure. I was going to point out the whole trade and everything. That's not going to pan out. Come on. Yeah, that's not going to pan out. I'm going to stop it at the edge of 900. Yeah, that's the edge of 900. All right. So now loss. Well, we lost the first one. The first one was 7. That was 9. And again, I'm going with heavy leverage. Again, taking the challenge for what it is. And I was looking for it to continue to break down out of that. The only thing that sucks, that happened while we was paying attention on one thing. That's okay, because that should have just went straight to my second order, and it didn't do that. So I'm happy I didn't get my full position. All right, anyways, so what ended up happening, especially towards the market, we already established our highs and lows here. We already established it here. So since we already established our highs and low, I was looking for us to retest this area. Come on, behave. H. I was looking for us to retest this area. So I got in roughly as the opening happened. So I had this horn tie ride. And then when we got into this area, I started scaling myself out the closer I got to the line. And when we had that explosion, the rest of that accumulation was there. Okay. Looks like they're going to do another stab at it. I think what we're having is a little bit of a conflict. The stochastic wants to come down, but the MACD wants to kind of push up, and it's kind of flattish. So we're getting this like arcing BS here, just arcing. So what are we going to take here? You got out of this area, which tells me that you broke that support. All right. I'm gonna reposition those things. So we got ourselves trade that. That, so like I said, I already got one funded account. I'm seeing if I can be a little greedy for $26 to see if I can get a second funded account, and we'll see what happens there. Oh, and that is my one that I wanted. I think it's my one. See if we can get this thing to hold there. Again, like I said, the 5 minute is in a bit of a battle. Yeah, this thing is like really toying with it. I want it not to get back inside of that area of that channel. That is going to be the other one. If they do come down to get it. Looking for this to kind of like scoop itself down. And then we have the explosion all the way back down, which would be a thesis based on the 5 minute and the 15 minute hammer really putting the pressure to this downside and just not return. That's what I'm looking for. I think I'll probably clip it if it shows me negative, about negative 350. Let's go negative 350. If it does negative 350, I'll cut that and give myself another position. All right, come on. Let's get the rest. Come on. Come on. Don't go negative on me. Don't you dare go negative. Come on. Get that structure. Get it. All right, I might have to take a positive 100 if this thing keeps on toying with it. Yeah. Let's get break even, because this thing can come back and I don't want to, because that's one of my highest leverage. If I didn't lose that previous trade, I probably would have held on to it, but that would have been very tricky if this thing starts to bounce. Let's go ahead and take a look here. See, they're coming forward and they're struggling. And what I've noticed with trades like that, sometimes they'll just accumulate and reverse and it turns into like a W. So I didn't get that full, all right, hit this, and they hit the next one. Like, I like to see that happen. So since I didn't get that, knowing the 5 minute is not really my friend, it can turn into my friend where it kind of explodes and there's still opportunity here, but it was just too choppy. And that's why I said with this non-farm payroll and this challenge, I rather walk away with an account and chase the 6,000 than to lose the whole entire account for 1,000. That's where I'm at. And to kind of give y'all a recap of where I'm at now, I am down 1,600, right? Down 1,600 out of 3,000. Yeah, you see, it's going to hit my target, but I was looking, you see, and there goes that bounce. But I wanted that bang, 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 as it's just hitting the stop orders, boom, 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 and then it would have probably gave me a nice explosion of a target to the downside. I'm gonna see what could be holding us up here. It might be something out left. Yeah, okay. So we got this nice little block here. That's probably why. But again, we're coming from a high point rejection. I really think there is going to be some follow through, as I don't think these buyers are still inside of the market here. I don't believe so. So patience, folks, patience. And I thought about taking the 600, and I really did, but I wanted them to trigger that order, and I was like, let me just go with a break or something closer to break even. $100, that would have been choice. Could be a pullback just for them to make that monster move down, maybe, but you're not gonna find out with my money. You're gonna and try to consolidate until they. Yeah, see, we got bullish divergences popping up here. This can easily turn into a histogram bullish divergence, because now we just made a lower low here, and this could be the sweep of pulling some of the orders, and then this just U-turns right back up. A lot of things can happen with this consolidation. And then we're talking about consolidation, which brings me to my next mindset. I know I'm just, like I said, killing time, as this consolidation is just annoying. It's not complicated. Trading is not complicated. It's not hard. It's just, do you have the discipline to follow the rules and not turn into a bonehead for the most part, right? Shout out to Javi. All right, so the first thing is we're either breaking out or we're breaking down. And if we're not breaking out or breaking down, we're either breaking down or breaking out. That's it. It's just two things. Yes, there is accumulation, but accumulation is the failure of those breakouts and breakdowns. The market only does two things, and then everything else is just being held and can't do it, and then we go sideways. but the directions are breaking out. So this little tiny grid right here is basically saying if we are breaking out is a yes, and we're not breaking down, then we not breaking down, then we're playing to the upside, right? Not here, yes here meets here. We're playing to the upside. If we're breaking down is a yes and we're not breaking out, then it meets right here, then we're playing to the downside. Very simple. But if we're breaking out and breaking down, then you got these wide points. Let me point it out on this chart. You get these wide point type of setups. This is my 45. Yeah, that's my 45. And like non-farm payroll, right? So here is upside and downside. Those wicks penetrated, right? But that was this trends, all their stop losses, and that's this minor slight trend, all their stop losses. So we're basically doing both. We're breaking out and breaking down. Megaphone pattern usually mean reversal, and that's why we had this nice little pop-up. I think that was the last sweep before we dumped. All right. When we are coming back to the chart, if we're not breaking down and we're not breaking out, both of them are no's, then we're meeting in the middle, and it's still accumulation, but it's those tight ones. It's those tight compressions that we get. Like, for example, like this. We're not breaking out to the upside really. We're not breaking down to the downside really. We're kind of going zigzag sideways, and it's real tight. Some of them are tighter than others. For example, this action is a little bit tighter. This action is super tight as far as how they kept the price all the way. And to kind of give it in perspective, this was at 3:45 in the morning on Monday, and by the time it started to break out and penetrate, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. So you get these tight ranges here. That is this version of accumulation, tight or wide, but either way, it's not doing anything. Where we only make money on appreciation and depreciation. I was just looking to play to the downside, so I need price to depreciate. I need them to go look for lower prices. If it's not doing that, I don't make money. There are strategies to make money while it's going sideways, but this is not that type of video, and this is not that type of instrument. Okay? The goal is to make sure everybody turn into profitable traders over here and not fall victim to the stairway to fail. Stairway to fail is something that is very, very, very possible. And this is where we got a lot of 2020 people that was like, oh, trading is so easy. And in 2025, they're like, man, forget that. I'll never trade again. It's this thing here. Okay. So we're not going to force any trades. We took our shot. We really did. And we're going to take another one if it presents itself. We do have a time frame. We got less than an hour to do so. But the goal is, oh, Lord, did I just still put that up there? I might have to probably blot that out. But yeah, so when it's all said and done, you want to be able to put yourself in a position so that way you can be able to be profitable. Okay? That's all. That's like 90% of all of the challenges in itself. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and come back down to our 15-minute, and I'll get rid of this so we can focus on the chart. See what they did? Oh, look at that. We're not breaking out and we're not breaking down. So what are we doing? We're doing a widespread accumulation. This was on an uptrend. That's a megaphone pattern. We're probably going to be playing to the downside. I think our limits, beat me to it. Our limit is there. Our limit is there, and 4 order is probably going to be somewhere down there at that point. And then our 2 order is going to be already at this point. And I'm probably going to cut it really, really fast because I don't like it anymore because the oscillators, because of what I missed was that. Let me cut this now. What I missed was that, like, we had this whole entire, like, tried. They probably grabbed some liquidity. Yeah, I'm just going to get out the way. I think it's going to break out, but I'm not in the best position for me to be extremely successful. Yeah, you see that? Nice little move. This right here is 17 points. And then there's your bounce. Exactly. Because this can be very dangerous. So what is 17 points? It is $20 a point. So 17 times 20. That is $340. Times what I want is 8 contracts. Bam. That's what I want. But I did not get in before this oscillator reversed. And it's okay. It's all right. Because again, like I said, oh, look at that hammer. They are trying their best. But we're going to keep on putting bullish divergence. We're not getting any follow through. Think of it this way. When the market is making its moves, the market is looking for levels. And then when they get these levels, they're going to put their stop losses in profit. And they're in the event and hope that their profit, the stop loss doesn't get hit. That's the general premise and the goal that they're looking for. The problem that happens is when people are trying to get in, they need prices that they feel comfortable to get in so that way they can go ahead and go lower. So that means they're going to have to go check other areas. So I think they try to go check to see if they can get some more. And part of that was other people's stop losses. They put it into profit kind of quick and it just literally kind of liquidated back the opposite way. And if somebody was in the mix of that with an order kind of like mine's looking to play it down while it was reversing, again, we're in the lower register, you was asking for trouble. You was asking for trouble. Actually, you was begging for trouble, to be honest. Okay, I think this thing is going to try one more time. And I think it's because the 5 minute kind of crossed here. But I want to see the 5 minute close first. Because I don't trust you. You've done this and this already. And it looks like you want to drive down. But you have very little control. And I need confidence. I really do need confidence. And the only way I'm going to get confidence is that you close strong with a strong candle at that point. I do believe this whole entire thing, now that we're under it, is an order block, and anything below about here, if you're a limit order type of trader, it's probably a good spot for you to take a rejection. You got one that's pop here, one pop here. This one was a kind of a sweep if somebody was just playing a channel play, and they probably got swept with their stop loss unless they had it up here. And yeah, that's what it looks like. It doesn't look strong. Actually, what it can also look like, let me come up to a 15 minute. It kind of looks like this. Some people call it rounded bottom, scoop. I call it falling wedges, which is kind of falling, but then it's not falling with strength, and then it wedges, and then they accumulate, they squeeze all the sellers, and it just pops right back up. Whatever the case may be, but it looks like we're kind of doing that action right now. Did you reset for me? No, not really. They got to that center pivot and then turned back around. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. No, thank you. On to the next one. Can it fall there? Yes, it can absolutely fall there, but it's not the most ideal setup. Here's the 15 minute. And that's the other part of it. Trading is like a lot of get out the way and don't get ran over by a freight bus or a freight train. Freight bus? What is a freight bus? Freight train, right? You don't get ran over by a freight train because the market is going to go where it wants to go, not where you put your stop loss. So if they think you're liquidity and you look like liquidity, they're going to come get your liquidity. Okay, the 5 minutes close. Kind of strong. I don't have any real levels the way I want to. I'm gonna have to probably trade this out of the 5 minute. No. I need more. I need more of a range. I think we're gonna have to target something down here. I think we already missed that opportunity. I need 4. Let's get 4. Something there. It's already starting. It's already starting. I was waiting for the close because I didn't believe in it. Let's see. Get a little bit of a pullback. Put in another that bullish type of divergences. The question is there more downside? I do think there's more opportunity to the upside, but that order block scares the crap out of me. This one right here. That was that 5-minute order block. Kind of like in here, if it gives me a low, maybe I'll take it, possibly take it, want to take it, don't know if I'm going to take it. No. Seeing if this thing can stay bearish, even though like I said, the 5-minute is completely exhausted. It is complete. When I say exhausted, it is exhausted. That is not momentum. You want to kind of be in here. Didn't mean to do that. You want to be in here or in there and already be in, so that way you can kind of enjoy the fruits of your labor. I guess that's where we're going to go with. And nice little retrace. They're trying to get this back in through the zero line. They took out that sell side liquidity. They kind of caused this. We're back into our megaphone. They're trying to recapture. Like I said, that 5-minute is tired, so this could be one of those 50% sweeps on stochastic. I'm going to take a 1 here, and my stop is going to be super tight. It's going to be somewhere around here because I'm looking for a rejection here. I would love to put another position here, but again, I think the 5-minute is coming with a vengeance. So I'm putting my stop here, and I'm going to play to my stop. That's my stop. Yep, cutting it. Yeah, so because this is starting to curl right through, and then the 5-minute is trying to find some momentum here, it's being difficult. Again, we're bearish, and we just started being bearish here, but then the 45 minutes at the stochastic down here. So there's still no follow through. I think this 45-minute is going to give more of a downside, but there's no reason for you to just hold on to a trade just because you like it. Yeah, that 5-minute, you see that nice curl. I think that order block is going to be the problem. Let's see. That wick was an area where they sold hard here. So now I'm down 1,800. I think that's the number. Yeah, we're down 1,800. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, like, I'm not, oh my God, I lost like $300. Let me at least get $300 back. Or I'm not just rapid firing off at every single trade in itself. All right, we got a nice little curl here. If we can get through this 2 candle, I'll probably take another shot at it, but I want them to kind of keep this oscillator intact a bit. Nice rejection. They could be building up. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. 90% mindset. That's what it is. And I'm just looking for it to give me the best probability in itself. And right now, I ain't gonna lie, I want that 1K. I get that because now we got to make up that money and 1K. That's what we gotta do. Oh, nice little rejection. There it is. I think they're going after the 2 candle. to go after it, I'm going to assume they're going to take this down, pin this, and continue. That's what I'm going to be doing. And then my stop loss is going to be whatever fair value gap we create. If it creates one, because it looks like they're trying to take it back on this 50. Oh yes, that's part of the I appreciate that, D-boy. Great minds think alike. Exactly. So that's why I kind of did this, because you're gonna, like Apex, for example. Oh, I shouldn't talk about the competitor, but anyways, it's my YouTube channel. Anyway, like Apex, for example, they're always sending out, what Neo calls the crackhead deals, right? And those crackhead deals can put you in a whole lot of world of hurt real fast, because you're like, oh, let me get this account, and then you think it's gonna go. Let me see if it can hold this kick. It took the kick. It took the kick. That sucks. So we had a nice little kick, and they took the kick. That's out of there. Boom. So I was looking for it to hold the kick and then continue right back down. All right, let's go ahead and transfer over the paper and do that. Again, it is a challenge, folks. I was willing to put $26 on the line to see if I can do it. I am happy with the $26 that I paid earlier. And I tried to go, so I'm batting 1 for 2. I guess that's what it is. That's good averages in baseball. I'm telling you, this little MACD was just torn. Oh, those kicks? Okay, so to be completely frank, the brokers cannot stop the kicks, no matter how it is. It's usually lack of volume that kind of creates that. But at the end of the day, everybody knows brokers will hold orders for whatever reason it may be. It could be that there's a dark pool they need to fill. It could be a big order that came throughout the day. Whatever the case may be, they need to hold the order for whatever it is, right? So we had a nice little up right here, but they couldn't find any more sellers going across this level here, right? So this little space right here, that space is just like any other gap, but because it's so small, I'm like, they kick price down. Like, it's almost like somebody kicking the can. So they're kicking price down to get to this level, which looked like their reversal was around 21,627. So let's just say somebody was like, all right, I like this fair value gap, but this one I'll give up, but I'll put my stop loss at this one. Those kicks are usually areas where the brokers are looking for it to fill that order, which they did, and then they're pushing back up, which they did. And when they fill this kick, that means whatever they needed for liquidity is already set, and it's pushing it into the price to push price up to this level. So those are just like gaps. So for example, let's take, who had a nasty gap? RCL. Let's talk about RCL. This is RCL, right? They had a massive gap. Why? The catalyst was earnings, and they showed, and they also had guided even higher. That's the whole entire thing, right? They went 2.5 and they coming off of 1.4, right? 1.4, 1.6, and they went ahead and surprised everybody with that extra 8%, right? So guess what? The market overnight is like, oh, I got to get into RCL. These are shares, more than likely. What ends up happening, we create a kick, okay, gap. That means the brokers, if I was selling, I'm getting all my sell orders out of the window. It's gone. So the broker's like, oh, I got all these buyers. They need someone to sell to, so I need to go find the closest seller. And that's where the closest seller was at the time. So it creates those kicks. So if I was selling here, here, and here, like or maybe even down here, right? If I was selling all those points, guess what ends up happening? It gets up to this price, and when we get those gap fills, then those orders gets filled. So same thing with the kick. Go back to NQ. It was in a 15-minute. Which chart was I on? Oh no, that's my other one. Right. So when we came to here, there was a whole lot of selling going on right here. And then when we pushed up here, the sellers was like, yeah, I'm out of here, right? So then now they're like, oh man, I need to find the closest closest buyer I can find. This gap was that closest buyer, because all of them was like, oh, it's selling. Oh man, let me get out of here. I'm gonna put my stop loss or my sell order down here instead of having it here. Again, this is theoretical for the most part. You wanted more details to that to kind of see it, get order flows, like unusual whales, quant data. You see they came right back down. So this could have been like someone scalping real quick, or it could be a broker reordering, depending on Instabull. Maybe they came to fill a dark pool, whatever the case may be. But again, it still came back inside of this range because we had this nice little bounce. We created this kick. We're going to rebalance it back and forth, and then boom, we had this nice little push up. And that's only because they can't find buyers. Whenever you see a kick on a downtrend, they can't find buyers, they go look for buyers. Whenever you see it on an uptrend, which this one started as one and then they refilled it, right? They can't find sellers. And then when it got down to this level, they're like, oh, we found sellers right here. I know, right, D-Boy? Let's come up to a higher time frame so it doesn't look as scary. But yeah, that's what this is. So this 5 minute is over here trying to establish this area as a good point to hold up. They're really trying to get that. And part of it, I think, was a little bit of manipulation, because I think the buyers tried to get in, couldn't. Yeah, now we got an M on the 15 second. Exactly. And then if they break this pivot right here, that's a break of a low, and then it just goes and retests some levels here. Because if I'm seeing we broke this low after going to uptrend, what am I doing? I'm moving my order. I'm not going to take it here. It would be crazy to buy here. I'll go buy down at this level or some other structure, maybe a previous one like this candle here, or maybe down here, whatever the case may be. But that's how that kind of goes. Let's see if there's follow through on that. I don't think there will be, because again, I really think the 5 minutes tired. I did not get the move I was looking for. I was looking for the stochastic, the 5 minute keep on going, pin this down, maybe get a little bit of a histogram more. Look at that. Now they're doing a little bit of that. And then continuing down. Now, if the buyers step up, that M pattern gets nope, there goes the M pattern. The M pattern gets invalidated, but guess where they're going to go ahead? These sellers here are going to go ahead and put their buy order here to close their to lock in their profits. So you might get a nice little spike up right here, unless they take out this wick and it just cascading down. I was right in the direction, but unfortunately, I lost 3,000 before I made the 1,000. That's all good. It's all good. So if you are looking to try to get that challenge, you have yourself 40 minutes. Let's switch to paper. There it goes. It's still trying to push down. Let me bring this one up because I like my setup. I love my setup. All right. Nah, I'm not gonna do leap. I'll do that later. Nope, wrong one. That one. So what can happen, especially with a psychological level of 21,600, we could get a nice little bounce just because of that. Here, let me mark off this level. 21,600 psychological level. We swept it. We made a higher low here. I'm thinking we could probably stay a little bullish again, depending on how we can enter here. This is in a bearish side, so be careful We are counter trend trading. Same thing with the 15 minute. Same thing with the 45 minute. Again, the 45 minute has very little follow through. So there is some channeling or consolidation as we go down. Kind of looks like a double bottom, right? Now D-boy? Looks kind of crazy. And that could be our rejection right around here. So on the next 5-minute candle, if this thing makes a higher low, I'm gonna consider taking a position and just gradually getting into what I need to get into. Yep, tweezer bottom. Oh, they tested it already. I think they came to fill out some more orders here. I'm gonna buy here. I'm gonna buy here. And I probably I think I'm gonna buy here. This is gonna be 4. This is going to be 2. If I'm confident that this MACD is going to grow right through the 0 line, then I'll go in. But right now we're testing fair value gaps again. We kind of tweak to top this entry. Let's see what the 5 minutes is doing so far. Look like it's going to stay bullish, which is something I like. It's trying its best to stay bullish. They're trying not to liquidate them in this 5 minute. We got the fair value gap, but I think this wick right here is the real MVP right here. This wick here, right? When we got off that 600. Let's see if we can get a curl here. I would love a curl where the stochastic comes down into this area again. Let the trade come to you. I was having a conversation with some. I was explaining. I was like, I tried these limit orders. I just never been a fan of them. I like to when I'm in. I like to be in. I play too much of. I'm not that much of a reversal trader than a breakout trader. Like more like a breakout reversal trader, I guess. But yeah, just limits are just so weird to me. Just very weird. Almost. I wanted it down here, but you could see that this wick was there, and then D-boy, there goes that kick right there. The price opened here, it closed there. They couldn't find no sellers, so they triggered it here. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. And that's the whole thing. And then I find myself looking for extra confirmation that it runs out, and then that's not my best entry and I don't like it no more. Then I get angsty, and then it pulls back because I probably got in before the pullback that's necessary. Like it was just too much. It was just too much. So I found better, and then we just put another kick. Yeah, we're getting some deep consolidation now. There's no volume here. Again, it's 12:30. I knew that was going to be the case. Right, that's why I said this was going to be very risky, but I had to take a stab. $25, get $1,000 before 1 p.m. and you have a funded account. It's just insane. I don't think anyone does that. Really? What? Oh, you know what? You know, I might give that a try. I might give that a try. So I still won't do limits, but I might give that a try because I love my markets. I ain't gonna lie. I be like, all right, I'm in. Yeah, all right, I'm out. I love my markets. But yeah, maybe getting rid of the button allows for you to just plot out what you see and put it at the levels. I like that. I really like that. Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. It's extremely peaceful. Mindset. Yep. Yep. Okay, so now I'm getting that crow that I was curious about if it can do that. I'm not gonna lie, I am about to lower this here, and I'm gonna lower this here ish, and I'm going to tighten this up a bit. And a very strong possibility I'm gonna take a one here. As soon as it does something that I like with the price action. Because my anticipation, we're going to get through this MACD zero line. Kind of what I want, but not cute enough. There we go. That looks better. Let's see what happens here. So now what I did, I tightened this up because if we can recapture this wick, I should have a good solid cushion here. My stop loss will be that 600. So I'm going to accept it for what it is. That's just the structure. How deep the pullback happens or how the candles look, it will affect how I get out of the trade if I don't like it no more. But you can kind of see we had this nice little bearish move to the downside, found support. Try to push it down again, made higher lows. They turned it into a doji, so guess what? You don't have to control bears. So if we can liquidate the bears here, this should recapture, pick me up here, capture, and then continue, and capture, and then continue, and so on, and so on, and so on. But then we are right here. So if this thing does, then we probably break out, they let the bottom out, and then this thing can dump. So that's why my 600 is my stop for one contract and not the entire 8 I like to use. Yeah. Yeah, and to be honest, my last 3 funded accounts that I got funded were built on stops, buy stops. I felt like I gained my niche in that regard. Took a little bit of practice to kind of get myself out of the limit order part, but I think I am good directionally. I don't think I am superstar entry wise. So I love my breakouts because it usually means the momentum is there and I'm riding the momentum. Kind of like a surfer, right? The wave comes in, you can see it coming, and you kind of get on there. Some of those waves are short, and then you kind of just fall right back down. And some of them, they're the real wave, and you can get on top of it, you know? So that's what I look for, kind of along the lines of that. All right, there's 30 minutes as all these people are going to try to get there. Oh, there we go. Can we recapture that 5-minute wick? Sounding like a Barack Obama campaign. Yes, we can. Come on, give it one more push, and I think we're going to get through the 50% mark of that wick, and then sky's the limit as we get through 21,650-ish. Somewhere around there. Kind of holding. Looking okay. I think I'm going to come up to the 15-minute. I don't like to just stay in the 5-minute all the time. Yeah, if this 15-minute can continue to, especially we're closing this candle that way, it tells us that the bears don't have control of the 15-minute. Come on, give it one more spike, maybe even get into that block. Ooh, they said, Jeff, we got control. So almost like a complicated question we got to ask ourselves. Do we want to let this get to break even? I had like 300. I think I'm going to risk negative 100 versus risking the entire level of 600. because I was anticipating something strong, especially above my 800 EMA. So this thing can really start to dump. Yep, 90 bucks. I'll take it. I'm not a fan of it no more. And again, this is what happens in consolidation. If you've ever experienced something just like this, it's because you are in consolidation. Yeah, and that's the other part. So my theory about markets, and I was explaining this why my theory about markets is that the market order then has to look for the closest stop loss to get it. So guess what they have to do? They got to sweep to go get it. So if you do enough market orders, you're probably just sweeping people left and right. So I think when we're in consolidation, it's a whole bunch of market orders getting triggered. That's how I think. I might be completely wrong, and I apologize in advance, but yeah, until it does something different, that's how I think. And so far, it's been like that. That's why I like these stops. Like, imagine if you were playing this to the upside and you was like, oh my God, I missed that opportunity to play it to the upside, but you know what? I'll be patient and wait for a reversal. Then this tweezer top happens on the 15-minute. And then you come down and be like, oh, let me go check this out on this drop. Let me see if I can find a level from the left side that I can relatively attack to the downside. Oh, let me close these orders because I still don't believe in it. It could go back up, but with this. But anyways, let's go back to here. And then when we get to the, let's just say your 1 minute, 15 seconds, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. To be honest, as long as your entry time frame is what you're comfortable with reading and you can understand and discern the market. That's all that matters, to be honest. It's completely honest. All right, so we had the massive drop off with the 15-minute here. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. Let's get back here. What level did that one start? It started right under 930. Okay. So we had under the 930 level right around here. So this kind of tweezer topped, double top, all that stuff that kind of goes against it. But imagine you look left and you're like, oh man, you know, after they kind of did this, what level would I want if I was going to go ahead and attack this? I already missed this. That means it starts to accumulate. All right, if it gets under here, I would love to have a stop. Imagine you took a trade, either a stop or you took a buy limit or a sell limit when it actually broke out of here or these top areas, whatever the case may be, whatever you're comfortable with. From 869 down to here. Look at that. That is 354 ticks just on that alone. And if you were continuously attacking levels here, 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 you'll be getting in with succession. Limits, same thing. Every time it gets to a higher low, all right, I anticipate a retest. You set up a limit order right here. Yeah, it kind of came up in here, but then it pushed down, continued down. I'm gonna set up a limit order and pick up every time it keeps making lower low, lower high. Boom, 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 accumulate, 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 and then eventually explode it down. Same thing. I just do it in a different way because I'm not looking at the structure. I'm looking for momentum. I know that was a lot. I apologize. All right, we got ourselves, oh no, what we got? We got ourselves 26 minutes. So we're going to see how this pans out along the way. And again, like I said, I did not like it anymore because it's just even more consolidation. Non-farm payroll. Actually, major news events, aka earnings, aka jobs report, aka non-farm payroll, aka CPI, aka Jay Powell decides to open his mouth. They're not the easiest, and these prop firms are always tossing out the deals during that. Those actions create the crackhead mentality. The I gotta get my fix. Oh, let me go ahead and trade. Let me see how much money I can make, and then those dopamines start to kick in because your exhilaration is like, oh my God, look at what I did and everything else. And then you can't control your emotions, and then you lose objectivity. That means you're not playing the market with a purpose. The whole purpose of this whole entire video is to show you, hey, I know what I was willing to risk, $26. B, I was looking for certain levels and I was very judicious on what it was going to do. C, it did not do what I expected. I am not running to the reset store. 1, because the whole purpose was I wanted to do it before 1 o'clock. If I tried to reset right then and there, it would have been, what, 1 hour to get the 1,000? Tell me in between this price action right here where you was going to get the 1,000, unless you're really good at ranges and you can get in and out properly. No, it's almost impossible. So to kind of tie this all in a bow, don't let these offers drive you nuts. And kind of like go with the diamond saying, right, when she said in the most eloquent way possible, make the money, don't make the money make you. All right, that's my bad. I couldn't say it with a straight face. Like don't chase the profits. That's what I really want to say, right? Don't drive yourself crazy, running yourself into a brick wall, and then out of nowhere you look up and you get out of your computer and be like, oh my God, I just lost $1,000 of my money. That's not trading. That's wishing and hoping, and that's what I don't want y'all to do. So y'all got the first-hand look of me taking my shot and attempting to do so without exposing myself to massive losses. If you can do that, if you can turn around and respect the process, if you can take, let me grab this right here, put this on. If you can take this market and respect it, and you focus on the trading scales of profitability, you chart your chart, you look for your levels. If it respects the levels, then you take the trade. If it doesn't respect it, you get out of the trade. If you put just a little bit of effort into your charting, then you could go ahead and almost predict what the market is going to do. That's the goal. If you don't have a trading strategy, I need you to find one. If you need help, of course, I got my one-on-ones. They're reopening on February 14th. I haven't fixed it so that way you can book it early. I'm going to do that over the weekend. But generally speaking, one-on-ones are coming back. And the goal is to take the statistics, something that you've back tested, something that you know for a fact it should work out, and then you're going to practice it. Statistics plus practice allows you to finally put trades in the bullpen. This strategy is high probability. After you get a high probability trade, you should be good to go. If all you do is a whole bunch of statistics and changing strategy and never practice, you're just gambling or clicking buttons. If you're practicing but you don't even know the statistics, then all you're doing is just playing around, rapid over trading, or you just operate in a market with no identification whatsoever. You don't even know who you are. You don't know if you're a scalper, swing trader. You don't even know what's up or down, what's bullish or bearish. You don't know what a liquidity sweep, nothing. And that's dangerous. And then you get wrapped up on hopium when you just sit there. It's probably high statistics, but you lack any practice, so you just take a trade and just hope it works. But if you can stick here in ID development, where you take high statistical trades, practice it as much as possible, then you can be in the trade bullpen. You can deploy cash, leverage it, put in a position to earn you money based on those parameters. Oh, we're getting that push-up. We're finally getting that push-up. There we go. Hold on. Let me go ahead and minimize this. Let's get out of here. Enough talking to y'all ears a little bit. Look at that push-up. That is a solid one. This was about 41 points. Kind of what I was looking for when they kind of did that little bit of a gain right here. I was looking to attack that. Didn't like the trade because, again, look when we're breaking out. It took until this. Here's our 5-minute. Nice curl of the 50%. Nice opening. We're coming to a level of resistance, so this can get rejected. So this could be a sweep just to push right back down, so be careful. And in the 15-minute, look at that. Nice consolidation. Range to range, range to range. Actually, I'm going to take this channel out and these levels. All right, we get a little bit of a golden cross here on this 15 seconds. Maybe we could get a nice little turn. Maybe come back and retrace right back into here. Then we could test up into here. But I did really want that 600 level to hold, and then we just continue up. There goes one of those points. Kind of looks like a W here with a lower low with this pivot here. Let's see if we can get that. Let's put that there. This is the real target. This is my real target up here. That's the funny thing about it. I'm gonna have to adjust that. Just slightly. Get a nice little reset here. Probably get a 1 here. Let's see what it does. I want this to reset. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to test to see if we can break out of here. Like I said, be careful. It is running right into a previous resistance, a recent resistance at that too. But if I am right, we might get a compression breakout because we've been compressing price for a while. If it could come back to the 50 EMA now, it'd be great. I guess that's as close as it's going to get. Let's take one shot. If it pulls back and touch the 50 EMA, that's okay. But I think I got close enough to the 50 EMA. So what I'm looking for is this stochastic to kind of just turn this right back around again. Very, very, very against the grain. But if that 600 level is holding, just so they can kind of like hold to take out some highs, and that we're back above 650, all we have to do is hold 650. Got a nice little retest here. Get a breakout. Then we could catch all of this, and then my target will be here. Actually, for giggles, let me show y'all what I mean. My target will be here. Something like that. Kind of something I was trying to set up for that eval. So if this actually pans out, I'm curious of what the profit was like. Probably pushing 1,700 or so. They might be coming back to test that 50 EMA one more time. Let me go see what's going on with the other time frames. Let's see if it's actually holding what I think. Yeah, curl up here in a 15-minute. Already curled up the 5-minute here. Could be an evening star here. Not a good sign. We need to recapture this wick like now. Again, we've been consolidating, so a lot of things can happen. Come on, baby. Yeah, it's almost there too. You see how it's kind of pushing? Almost there. It's funny, they're really putting a test to this bull market. It's almost like they're like, oh, well, 2024 was the bull market. In 2025, we might be bullish, but we're going to chop you up right here to let you know that we own the market. Come on, baby. Get up there. Pick up that order. All this dancing is not necessary. Come on, there we go. That looks good. Got into like that 280 in profit there. There we go, 300. Around 340, 350, this thing will take out that top and then pick up that order. And I'm just looking for the momentum to just continue there. There we go. Come on, don't you dare. And I know what a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, scaling in, you know, you give up profits if it goes against you, if you do it wrong and everything else. I'm at peace with that. There's times I take a deeper L than I would normal, but I'm looking for higher targets so it doesn't quirk me, or hurt me, like piss me off, I guess that's the word. Doesn't have me like, or angry or nothing like that. It's the market. The market's going to do what it wants to do. $4.95, 500. Where were you about 30 minutes ago? Actually, more than that. Maybe an hour ago. That's that order block that I felt a little uneasy about, but we built such a base. I think a lot of these guys are like, I'm tired. It picks up that 2 contracts. It's probably going to be around 700, 800 bucks. And sometimes I'll do some mental math. I'm like, all right, I saw 500. I'm willing to risk like 20% of it. And if it gets to 100 bucks, then I'll close it out. And stuff like that. It just depends on how I feel. To be honest, I feel real good about this. So I don't know if I want to take it at 100. I might go with negative 100. No, maybe not. Like I said, the 5 minute is under the 0.9 on the MACD. I don't like trades like that. Yeah, that's a top wick. If they don't recapture this wick, yeah, I'm gonna probably take the positive 100. I was gonna do the negative 100 just in case, but if it takes out this wick, might change. Yep, never mind. Back to negative 100. back to negative 100. I'm gonna hold it there, because now that we made this high, I think they're in the sense of basically wrestling the control in the market out of the sellers. They go 700, and these pullbacks are just areas for them to get out with less damage, turning into buyers to buy the position to get out. Which is a lot. Like, you're basically doing an $800 swing to anticipate, and because the volume sucks. I think if the volume was a little bit higher, I would have hit those targets a long time ago. But the brokers are like, if we get up there, we might not have enough liquidity to get down there again. So I'm still at the negative 100. Yeah, that sucks. It sucks. All right, negative 100 did flash. Let me get that out. Okay. Close it for that, because it's going to make a lower low on the 5 minute. That should not happen. Something like this: 1, 2, 3, you get out somewhere here or here. 1, 2, 3, you get out somewhere here, maybe even here, and then this is a sweep right back down to it. Like I said, volume sucks, volatility sucks. Right now, everybody's probably done. They made their money for a non-farm payroll, so we're just inside of this range. So this tells you you're not going to get all these breakouts every single time. Perfect example of that. So I'm probably going to take this video, D-Boy, just chop and screw this up, make it into like a 30-minute watch, maybe even 15-minute with a speed up. I think that's why I could do that. Speed between unnecessary ramblings. But I don't see a trade that is relatively viable if I was going to take a real trade right now. I was just about to call him. Give me 1 second. Hey, Avi. No, I was actually I'm about to wrap up a YouTube now, because I went online to kind of see if I could do it again, but that didn't work out because it's just choppy. You see how it's going up and down? You did? You got it? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. I'm gonna send you a link, right? Hold on, let me send you a link. You're gonna fill out the.
I got that shit.
Yeah, congratulations. Somebody got it, y'all. All right, I'm gonna send you the link. You have to fill out the form on Elite, right? And let them know that you did pass, right? What you need to copy your account number. Hold on, let me get this site. You need to copy your account number and send the account number to them. And it's gotta be the full one with the ETF, blah 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 blah.
Copy account number.
Yeah.
What I'm on right
Like
now.
what you did a, let me do it for you right now. So I'll be right back, guys. That's what I like to hear. All right. So Javi got it. Woo woo. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh man. That's amazing. He might have caught it off this bounce and just stayed away from all those sweeps. I'm gonna have to ask him. I'm thinking he probably caught it on this because he's like, I just got it by 52 cents too. Oh man, that is good to hear. Hey, what's going on? Ty, long time no see. I'm telling you, I gotta holler at you, brother. I really do. It's been a little minute. It's been a minute. But yeah, he got his eval. That's good. That is good. So there is literally 3 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes until the challenge is over. And I hope they do more of these challenges. Because I think what it does, it rips you away from your norm, right? Makes you a little bit aggressive, makes you write a plan around being aggressive. But at the same time, you gotta be judicious. And then you need to pull yourself out of the ether of being out of your norm. You got to get yourself back into objectivity, which is what mindset on Saturday is what we do, right? We kind of get everybody like, all right, you did well, you did great, but the market can take it all back. Get back to zero. Get back to objective. Focus on what the agenda is. I know a lot of people that, they trade their NQ, get funded, and then they blow the account the next day. Like, let's try to slow that down. So this thing was the Beast Challenge. Congratulations to all those. But that doesn't mean the deal is over. There's still 65% off of all Fast Track. The link is in my description. $26 will get you an account. Pass the test in 14 calendar days, which really is 10 trading days if you really think about it. Now, do not come after me or fight me when your wife gets mad at you because you spent Valentine's Day money on some overpriced account. $26 won't hurt you. And I don't tell you to join and trade on the 14th either. All right, because that's Valentine's Day, and don't get shot by your wife because that's a Friday and she's going to want to get out and you're going to have to go ahead and, make sure she's straight. All right, people. But that said, I want to say thank you very much for taking the opportunity. Just go ahead and join with me. It was a nice little enjoyment to see a challenge in itself. I already passed my challenge. I already got one. I was trying to get a second one, being a little greedy, but I wanted to share that with you on the mindset of dealing with something just like one of these challenges. Also, if you want to go ahead and participate in mindset, we spend a lot of time on mindset on Saturdays, and we really reset ourselves. By all means, please, by all means, send me a DM on Instagram. I'll send you the link, and you could go ahead and join my mindset on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Also, I do BYTTT Tuesday to Thursday, 8:15 privately for the communities, and at 8:45 for YouTube up until 9:45 hard stop. All right. So if you want to go ahead and participate, you want to follow me, by all means, go ahead and follow me, JD_the_great on Instagram, also YouTube and Twitter. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I bid you a fond farewell. Good luck out there. Bye-bye.